Hello and welcome to the Gatewatch Cast. I am your host, Sanzo, and joining me today is Wilson.
What's up, everyone?
Hey there, guys. So, as requested by a commenter, we are going to cover the top 10 most saltiest card in Commander.
That we think are in Commander.
Yes, I mean, there is more, but for me personally, these are my top 10 lists that I have experienced personally.
Yeah, and this is one that I experienced as well, but in a different play group and from other states as well.
Alright. So, a brief definition of what salty means. Salty means...
Anything that tilts you.
Yes, it tilts, but things that you are not happy with, things that
Make you frown.
or frustrated, and so on.
Does not allow you to play Magic.
Yes, I mean, things that just feel unfair.
Yes.
So, let's get right into it. In no particular order, my first one would be expropriate. So, expropriate is... Oh boy, this is going to be a good one.
It's a 7 and 2 blue sorcery, and what does it do?
So anyway, it has Consul's Dilemma. Starting with you, each player votes for time or for money. For each time vote, take an extra turn after this one. For each money vote, choose a permanent permanent owned by a voter and gain control of it. Exile expropriate. So at first, it doesn't sound that bad because of 9 mana cost.
Yep.
Let's just say if you don't really want to give the opponents time, you can just save money and you can give them one of the permanents and whatnot. So
True.
It's not that bad, but the problem is expropriate usually comes in at near the end of the game where you have your board set up and you have your combo pieces ready. So if you were to give something, let's just say this, if I have an enchantment called Omniscience on board, that allows me to play cards from my hand without paying the mana cost.
Yeah, of course.
So if I were to give that to my opponent, that would be really bad.
Yeah. And even if you don't want to give it to your opponent, it says choose. So even if there's hexproof, even if there's shroud, they can just take it away.
Mm-hmm. So it covers all the
Bases.
things that, yeah. So what do you think of this one? For me personally, I find this really annoying when someone plays this and they don't really know what to do with it.
I only experienced this against when I play it, but I can understand why it's on the list. People don't really like to play against it because if they do, they lose permanence and your opponent gets extra turns.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as you said, if that person doesn't know what to do after they cast expropriate, yeah, I'll be salty as well.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Because somebody getting an extra turn is already annoying. But if they're getting, 4 extra turns, that is way too bad. Like, it's really, really bad.
Well, that's just poor decision making on the table, and it's not really his fault then.
Yeah, true. But still, it's one of those scenarios where I do wish if a person were to play expropriate, they finish off the game. Because it's one of those things where, example, for me, if I were to play expropriate, it would be, okay, I just need 2 more turns just to finish off my combo just to win.
Yeah, of course.
So, because you need to do the stuff and blah, 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 and so on.
Yep.
So, what is your number one?
So, mine is actually in a particular order. So my first one is Centripedes, which I see is also in your list,
Yes,
right?
Centriplet is on my list too.
So what Centriplet is a 2, a white, a black, and a blue legendary artifact creature, human wizard, 3/3, that says at the beginning of your upkeep, choose target opponent. This turn, that player can't cast spells or activate abilities and plays with their hand revealed. You may play lands and cast spells from that player's hand this turn. So, I faced against a ton of Centriplet decks before, and they all annoy me. I am a blue player, and whenever they choose me, I can't even counter it.
Well, technically you can recycle.
Yes, but if let's say I do not have any mana open, or I do not have the counter target trigger ability spells,
You're screwed.
I'm screwed. So that's why I really do not like centuplets. And even worse is, when I'm playing centuplets, when my opponent's playing centuplets, they can cast whatever I have. And my blue decks are usually combo decks. Not just blue. Every deck I have is combo deck. And most of the time I have combo pieces in my hand. And they can cast it, and they can combo off, and I die.
No, that's true. That's true.
I just played a game last night where my opponent ultimated his Narset's Transcendent, and I can't cast any more non-creature spells. And then my opponent played his centuplets and chose me.
Oh god.
And he took my Veldelkin Grand Architect and Pilipala, Infinite Mana, and then drew his entire deck. So, this is although it's still at the bottom of the list, I think it's one of the saltiest cards that I do not like. What do you think about it, Norman?
It's one of those things where I don't like this kind of deck style where you lose control of the game, because usually one thing that I hate is not being able to play Magic. Things like extra turn, those annoy me because I can't play centuplets.
You can respawn.
True, but the thing is, once it's done.
But centuplets is different though.
Yeah, I mean,
it's much more annoying.
True, I'm just saying what's going on.
Yeah, true.
So, centriplet here, I don't get to play my things because it's funny at first, haha, but
the novelty wears off, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, here's the thing. I don't think it's going to be fun for the centriplet players too, because once it's already flip face up, revealing what commander you're using, everybody will have that dread of thinking, oh no,
am I gonna be it?
No, the person is using centriplets.
Oh.
So everybody focus fire on this person, because if you're holding up a counter spell, you're not going to counter anything the table's going to do, because you're waiting for that centriplet to come out. Because everybody is going to be afraid of the centriplet player. It's a lie if somebody says, oh, no problem, if the centriplet comes out, I just remove it. The guy's playing in Esper. Do you not think that he's ready for it?
True. There's Nefarious Protection, there's counter spells, so many.
Even with the counter spell in my hand, I'm not sure what the opponent's going to do, because he is playing in blue too, so he might have a counter spell and so on.
Plus, there's Cavern of Souls. You can just use Cavern of Souls.
True. I mean, see, the thing is, centriplet is annoying, but I'm with you. It's not that annoying to the point where I don't like it.
True.
I just find it salty, but that's all.
So, what's on your next list?
So, my talking about losing control and whatnot is Mindslaver.
Well, I see that Mindslaver's on my list too, so why don't you tell us what it is?
Mindslaver is a 6-cost artifact, legendary artifact by the way. So it has pay 4 and tap. Sacrifice Mindslaver. You control target player during that player's next turn. You see all cards that player could see and make all decisions that player could make. So this is one of those scenarios where I mentioned to you before, I do not like this kind of game style where you lose control of the game.
Yeah, yet you still play with me. True.
The thing is, it's salty, but it's not that salty if you are prepared for it. See, the thing is with most decks, if you're ready for it.
Yeah.
So with Mindslaver, it's not that bad because it is a 6 artifact cost, and you need to pay 4 and tap it. Granted, there's multiple ways to reduce the cost and so on, but the thing is, you need a total of 11 mana? Or 10?
There.
So it's
10 mana, 6 and 4.
Yeah, so you need a total of 10 mana to just use it.
Yeah.
But there are certain situations where people don't really, and so on, there's combos.
True.
But still, it's one of those things where it's annoying. If you're probably wondering why am I not annoyed with Expropriate, because Expropriate costs 7 and it's a sorcery card, and technically you should be ready for it. Same thing, but the thing is, extra turn versus losing control is. So what about you, man? Like, I know you've been using this card.
It's such a To be honest, that card is like my staple card.
Mm-hmm.
It should be stapled to my head whenever they play against me.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I agree that it's one of the saltier cards. People do not like to play against it or play with it. Even to me, it's too much of a hassle. I have to go around the table if I'm playing my deck because I will mind slaver everyone in one turn. I agree. It's very salty. It makes it essentially playing yourself like, Wilson, pass the turn to you, Wilson. Oh, thank you, Wilson. Now it's past you. I'm done with the turn, Wilson. Thank you, Wilson.
Well, but here's the thing, Wilson. I mean, but the thing, the card itself, you need to sacrifice it. So how could you use it multiple times?
Well, what I do is I use Goblin Welder, and I use the, what do you call that? The Isoconf Scepter with Dramatic Reversal. So I keep untapping the Goblin Welder and keep sacrificing it to make, to bring back the Mind Slaver, and I keep having mana rocks to keep paying for it. So I have infinite mana, infinite Mind Slaver triggers.
So basically, every time you sack Mind Slaver, you use the Welder to sack something to bring something out.
Yes.
And,
yeah, but a token generator is something what you need to do, but we'll get to that next time.
Okay.
So, what else do you think
list?
about? So, what else do you think about Mind Slaver?
Mind Slaver, like I mentioned before, it's annoying, but it's manageable if you know what to do and if you're ready for it. Because if you're not ready for it, then you're gonna have a hard time just dealing with it.
True.
So, if you're playing in green, you are the guy that's responsible for making sure that Mind Slaver doesn't go off.
Yeah, true.
But if you're playing in other colors that don't really deal with artifacts, I think black is the one. No, black does deal with it. No.
No, black does not deal with artifacts. It's just mainly creatures and life loss. But my next card on my list allows people to not be able to play with Mind Slaver, and that is Gather Teak. Gather Teak is a green and a white 2/2 legendary creature Kiftin advisor. It says non-creature spells with converter mana cost 4 or greater can't be cast, and non-creature spells with X in their mana cost can't be cast. So you know how people like to cast spells in Commander, right? Especially big spells. That's the main essence of Commander. People want to play janky, fun, big spells like Death Battle Warcry to bring out all 4 of their Minotaurs. Or maybe they want to cast a very big 10, X equals to 10 Finale of Devastation to bring out that Cradle Behemoth. But Gather Teak stops that, and it's not cool. Gather Teak essentially stops a lot of combos, yes, but it also stops the game from progressing.
I faced that one before, and I've seen game nights face this kind of deck before, and how do I put this? I personally think it's annoying.
Yes.
Like, is it not manageable? No, not really.
No, not really. Which is why it's still on the bottom of my list.
Like, removal spells are usually 3 and below.
Yes, and they can allow people to cast creature spells. So it's still although it's salty, it's not that salty yet.
So I mean, it just says 4 or higher.
Yes, but the other problem is X spells. Even if it's let's say you want to fireball this for 2, you can't even cast it.
Yeah, the X spell part is annoying, but still, there is a lot of things that can remove Gather Teak.
Yeah,
if you do it,
a shock.
Yeah, a shock.
Pyroclasm.
I mean, there's more.
Yeah.
Even Doomblade.
Yeah, even Doomblade.
Yeah, Doomblade is in 3.
Yeah, so much.
So there is a lot of cards that can get rid of Gather Teak, and the best part is if it's not a commander and you get to exile it, that is also good.
Yeah, but I've seen people play this as a commander, and they play as stacks. So it's really hard for people who play this as a commander and play stacks to handle the deck.
Yeah, it's something that you need to get ready for. Like, usually, I think the thing about salty cards is that you need to get ready to face it. That's mostly the point.
Yeah, I agree.
But anywho,
so what's your next card?
My next card is another annoying one. It's called Nexus of Fate.
Ah,
It's a 5 and 2 blue instant. It says, take an extra turn after this one. If Nexus of Fate would be put into a grave from anywhere, reveal Nexus of Fate and shuffle it into its owner's library instead. And it is a buy a box promo for Core 19
so everyone could get it.
if they buy a box. So, what's the annoying part about this one?
Yeah, it's instant.
It's an instant extra turn card. Yet again, with a high
CMC.
casting cost, 7.
Yeah. But what's the reason you put it above expropriate? They're both the same thing. They
True.
have high mana
But
cost
the
and
thing
extra
is,
turn.
it's instant. The instant is the
True.
problem.
True.
Because not including Vidalcan Orrery or even Layla of Dissipation, cards like extra turns usually are in sorcery speed. So you are ready to counter it when it comes down. And usually extra turn spells, not including the banned one, are at CMC 5 or higher.
There is a 2 mana CMC in green. Extra turn.
Green? Extra turn? Okay, that's surprising.
Yeah. I'll tell you about it later.
But still, the thing is, usually those are in sorcery speed. So you are ready for it, you can counter it, you can do whatever you want. But the thing is, with this one, it's an instant speed. So usually blue players would like to keep their mana untapped. So a scenario for this one would be, I'm going to combo off next turn. The turn passes to Wilson, the turn goes around like this. So after my opponent here passes a turn, it goes to me. Wilson doesn't want that. So he will steal the turn and he'll combo off, leaving me with nothing.
Well, that happened.
True. But no, it's one of those things where it's annoying because you are not ready for it. Like it's just there to annoy you. It's very annoying because it's still instant. Like the thing is, the instant is bothering me.
True.
And since it's a instant card, like I should mention this with the other previous cards too, but copy magic is there. Like there's a lot of copy magic spells.
Yeah, true.
So that's going to be very annoying.
Yeah, I've seen people take 10 extra turns.
Oh, that's very annoying.
Yeah, that's me. Alright, so there's one way to prevent that, and that's to make your opponent's spells cost more, so that they can't set up, they can't play their spells. And do you know how to do that? With Grand Arbiter Augustine the Fourth.
Oh.
That's the next card on my list. So Grand Arbiter Augustine the Fourth is a 2 and white and a blue, 2/3 legendary creature, human advisor. It says white spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Blue spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And spells your opponents cast cost 1 more to cast. Now that makes your opponent's spells cost more while yours cost less.
In all actuality, it doesn't sound bad. Not.
It's in the yes, it doesn't all sound bad until you finally realize it's in both blue and in white.
Mm-hmm.
Colors where they stop you from doing things.
Yep.
So let's say you have cast this, my Ghostly Prison costs 1.
Mm-hmm.
If I cast this, my disallow only is the same as counterspell now.
Mm-hmm.
And if I cast this, let's say my Sphinx Revelation allows me to draw 2 for 3 mana, and so on and so forth. It allows you to get more and more advantage as time progresses if this is on the battlefield.
True.
And your opponent can't even combo off. Let's say remember the combo we talked about last week? The one where Blasting Station and 0 art mana artifact? Yeah, now you need to pay 1 for it. Because it's still mana. It makes it 1 mana cost.
Yeah, and the thing is, usually in Azorius, they're the police colors, so they will have a lot of stacks in their decks.
Yes.
So playing with stacks is not fun.
Yes.
Usually stacks, they ask you to pay 1 more for casting a spell. So with what's a good stack spell?
Think about Ristic Study.
Ristic Studies is 1, but it's not really that impactful.
Mystic Reward.
Yeah, but the thing is, if somebody plays a card that asks you to
Loxodon Warhammer.
increase the casting cost by 1, so technically you'll be paying 2, and I'm sure there's more than that. So technically you could pay 3 or more. So that's going to be very annoying.
Yes, that's very true.
Even worse, if you combo it off with Helm of the Host.
That's even
So
worse.
basically, your Arbiter will be
Making
versus
your-
1,
yes.
2, 3, 4.
Oh my god.
And then basically you'll be casting for free. Not really free, but
You'll be casting spells for like 1 or 2 mana each time.
Yeah, and then like what, the Nexus of Fate is 5. Oh no, it's not. It's just 2 only.
Oh my god.
So it's like, and people will.
And
like,
your opponents can't cast spells anymore because they cost 5 more to cast.
Yeah.
Let's say a Soul Ring now costs 6.
Oh, God.
Why? Why would you?
Or even what, a Mana Crypt will cost 5.
No. Oh my god, no.
So this is annoying with stacks because
Yes.
it makes the game go to a standstill. It's
Yeah.
not bad, but still, one of the problem with creatures is if you can destroy them. Like a Doomblade will cost 3, but plus 1, 4.
True.
And so on and so on and so on, as long as you're ready for it.
Yeah. So what's the next card on your list?
Okay, the next card on my list is a very annoying one. It's really annoying.
To you.
So, I think it's going to be everyone. So anyway, the next card would be Void Widower for 9. And it is a creature Eldrazi for 11 and 9. Your opponent can cast spells with even converted mana cost. 0 is even. Your opponent can block with creatures with even converted mana cost. So, what does this say?
You can't cast even spells.
So, meaning that this is going to be very annoying because what did I mention before? Doomblade, Hero's Downfall, CMC 3. Those.
No. They are CMC 2.
Sorry. No, wait.
Doomblade CMC 2.
Doomblade CMC 2. Okay, my bad. But still, you can't cast.
Half of your deck is left inefficient.
Yep. And if you're ready for it, yeah, but this really shuts down a lot of things, and you can't block with even converted mana creatures. So that's just going to be really bad.
That's bad for the Gyruda decks.
Yeah, so it's what even is 0, 2,
0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Basically, you can still use Downfall and whatnot, but I'm guessing people are ready for it.
Yeah, and you can't block with tokens.
Yeah, because there's
Tokens
zero.
are 0.
But still, this just stops a lot of things.
Yeah, but it's a good card as well because you can stop combos.
True.
But it's because they stop combos that people are salty about it. And essentially, it, as Norman said, it doesn't really allow people to play Magic fully.
Like half of your deck is gone. I mean, unless you build a deck around it, like what?
Obosh the Prey Piercer that makes odd mana cost cards do double damage. Most probably, you have most of the cards that are odd mana cost in there.
What is the Sphinx like from the Esper Sphinx? I forgot from the Amina to Precon. It says even, right?
It says even Yenma.
Yeah, something like that. It says
Yenet.
Yenet.
It's Yenet is Flying Vigilance Menace. Whenever Yenet attacks, reveal the top card of your library. You may cast it without paying its mana cost if its CMC is odd. If you don't, cast it.
So basically,
If you don't cast it, draw a card. Sorry.
yeah. So basically, if you play Yenet, you play this one, kind of works because
It works.
yeah, you're just
Doesn't,
fixing your deck.
but it doesn't matter because it only affects your opponents, not even you.
True, but if you're playing Yenet and you're not having this, like, you still bypass it, but it's a very specific deck to build around.
True. I remember you played Yenet,
I played Yenet before.
and you keep revealing odd mana, even mana cost cards.
Yeah, because those are the cards that are kind of staple that I need to do.
True.
Yeah, but what about yours?
So, you know how people like to play with lands, right? And let's say people play with 5 colors. Usually their land base are not really basic, right? So what's the next card is really damnable for them, which is Blood Moon. So Blood Moon is 2 and a red enchantment that says non-basic lands are mountains. That's it. Now that's the reason why people do not like this card is because it really stops a lot of CEDH decks.
Yes, that's true.
People really like to play 5 colors, not just 5. Let's say 4. Let's say 3. Let's say the top decks used to be Treasures and Dimna, 4 color decks, and mostly not playing basics. And think about that. You're gonna turn their non-basics into red.
Yeah, that will hurt them, like especially if they're not using red at all.
Yes, especially that. Now imagine people trying to combo off. Next turn they say, "Oh, I'm gonna combo off. I have this in my hand. I Blood Moon them. Oh damn it!"
But it doesn't really stop them cold-bloodedly. Like
Yes, it doesn't.
like if they have here's the difference between casual and competitive. Casual have a lot more basics inside their deck
That's
because they just want to play for fun and they have lands that they have.
Yeah,
Competitive usually wants to go in deep and hard,
true.
so they will have like the minimum amount of basic will be 5 in total. Probably, I'm not 100% sure.
What if you're playing against Golos?
Oh, yeah.
What if you're playing against Kenrith, the Returned King?
Yeah.
Most of them have 5 colors, and mostly would play with non-basic lands because they want to maximize how much mana they can get.
Yeah, in honesty, my Kenrith deck has 3 mountains only, so that says a lot about my mana flow with the others.
Yes. So, all in all, Blood Moon actually just really stops people who play 5 color decks.
True, but would I say that this is annoying to a point where it's salty for me?
Yes.
No, not really. For me, it's not.
Yes,
Because-
but for CEDH players, a lot of people are really salty about this because usually they turn 1 this.
Oh yeah, like it depends people. Like for some people, but for me, I don't see it as a annoyance because A, I don't face it, and B, I don't have that hard of a time to deal with it because
You're casual.
yeah.
Alright, so what's your next card?
So my next card would be the Reverie, Imperial Tactician for a bunt that is green, white, and blue. Legendary creature, bird wizard, for a 2/3. It has flying. Whenever the Reverie Imperial Tactician enters the battlefield, or a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may tap or untap target permanent. It has an activated ability for 1 and bunt, and put the Reverie into the battlefield from the command zone. So this doesn't sound that bad and whatnot, but no, it's actually mean. It's a very mean card.
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it, but the thing is, you bypass the casting cost for the commander because here's the thing: you can tap or untap a card. You just pull it out. It taps or untaps something. Let's just say if it's a mana rock or it's a thing that wants you to tap for mana or something like that. Usually things like that would be Basalt Monolith or one of the expensive mana rocks.
Yeah, sure.
So that's one. But usually the way that this deck works, I don't know, I've faced it before and I find it really annoying.
People actually play stacks with the deck, usually. People like to... I do not know why, but it's in the colors, I can agree. And people like to play stacks with it. I seriously do not understand why. I've never played with people who played this deck before. But I do not feel that this card makes me salty if I ever face against it. Because you just pull it out from the command zone and it's just an ability.
Yeah, but I think one of the few things is just imagine if you have a Winter Orb, and Winter Orb says, what was it again?
It says as long as it's untapped. As long as it's untapped, each player can't untap more than 1 land. Each untaps at their untap step.
If you don't go even worse, Static Orb.
That's essentially almost the same thing, but
For permanence.
for non-land permanence.
Yeah.
For permanence, yeah.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. You leave it untapped. When it comes to your turn, or when it comes to when the person ends the turn, goes to your turn,
You may tap it.
you put it in, you tap it, or on the untap step, you just pull it in and then you tap it, so on. See, the thing is, it can be really annoying at some point. Like I mentioned before, it's a stacks deck and so on.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
So I mean,
But that then it's not really the card that makes you salty. It's actually the components that the entire deck.
that and also the casting cost or the bypassing the casting cost, because you could spend a lot of mana to destroy it. Like with other commanders, let's just say the most basic one, to reach the redeem. It is a what, 1 cost or 2 cost?
One cost.
1 cost commander. But as time goes on, if you keep destroying it, it will go up in cost. So it's a 1, it's a 3, 5, and so on.
But this one just puts it on the battlefield.
Yeah, basically, even if you destroy it,
They come back.
you come back as 4. It's a 3.
It's always 4.
Yeah, will it when it goes? Sorry, will it when it comes
It's
in?
always 4.
So it doesn't count as leaving the command zone.
It leaves for command zone, but you always use the ability to bring it back.
Yeah, so as it has a lot of counters, whatever it is, like the text for it is going to be high, but you just use the ability to pull it out. So that is annoying. Like that's one of the reasons that I find it annoying, because one is the colors. It's going in Azurius for stacks, and it has the
Green for RAM.
green for RAM, but the discount, the thing that pulls it out, that's annoying to me.
Yeah, I feel that that's acceptable. Just keep destroying, or just destroy the player.
Yeah, true. But the thing is, like you're using your removals to get rid of it, but you're not getting the payoff.
Yeah, true.
Like with Yuriko, the tiger, what's her name again?
Commander Ninjutsu.
Yeah, the Commander Ninjutsu. That one is a very specific thing where you need to attack, and
It cannot be
leave
blocked.
it unblocked. If it's unblocked, you can ninjutsu it out. But if it's blocked, then it doesn't come out. So there's ways around it. I mean, there's also the way.
There's also ways around the rarity, but it really depends.
Yeah, but the referee, you don't really need to. It doesn't have that cons where it needs to attack or it needs to do something before it can come out.
It needs mana.
True, but if you're in green, that's the thing.
Yeah, you just stop them with the new conundrum.
That's something else. But
Yeah.
what's your list?
So, what's your favorite thing in Magic?
Drawing?
Okay, what if I stop that?
Oh, okay, that's mean of you, but we'll see.
My next card is Possessed Portal. It's an 8 mana artifact that says, if a player would draw a card, that player skips that draw instead.
Oh,
And at the beginning of each end step, each player sacrifices a permanent unless they discard a card. Think about that for a second. There's no upside to this card, not even to you.
if a player will draw a card, that player skips that draw instead, alright? At the beginning of each end step, each player sacrifices a weapon unless discards a card. Oh,
No upside, not even to you, not to your opponents. And people get salty against this because they play it with the Fairy's Puzzle Box.
oh,
At the beginning of your draw step, if you put down all your cards from your hand and draw that many.
but since this one doesn't allow you to draw,
Yes.
you go. But this one affects all players, right?
Yes, even you.
So, why would you play this?
Well, people have actually a lot of cards that allow you to search for cards.
Uh-huh.
And usually when people are already established that combo, they will use this combo to stop people from going off.
Or trying to stop you and so on.
Yes. And since they can't get more cards, they have to discard their cards, and they usually use Teferi's Puzzle Box to shuffle back the cards before they can do anything.
Okay.
Yes, but of course this is still on the bottom of my list because people can handle it.
True. I mean, it is an artifact. Vandal Blast would destroy it.
Yeah, but Vandal Blast is sorcery.
Yeah, true that. Oh god.
Yeah, so unless you're in green, which has instant speed removal for artifacts, you're lost.
True, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, so stopping draws is one of the good things, but the reason why it's still on bottom is because it's 8 CMC.
Yeah, and it's hard to deal with. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So what's your next card?
So my next card is a rather recent card, and that is Teferi, Master of Time. It is a 2 and 2 blue legendary planeswalker Teferi. with 3 loyalty, and it has, you may activate loyalty abilities of the fairy master of time on any player's turn any time you could cast an instant. Its +1 is draw a card and discard a card. Its -3 is target creature you don't control face out. What phasing out is? Treat
Treat it as it's not on the battlefield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then its -10 is take 2 extra turns after this one. So it's one of the you can see a theme with the cards I don't like.
Yeah, extra turns.
Yep. So what's the problem with this one is that in a normal standard game of standard or legacy or whatever it is, if it's a one-on-one game, it's not that bad because you need 10.
Yeah, but it's a commander.
Yeah, true. So commander games usually has 4 players. So starting with you, you're +1. Going with the other person is 2, 3, and 4.
So essentially you already have 4 loyalty in one rotation.
Yep. So that means what you have 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're at 7 now.
Yeah.
But usually people don't usually go for the 7. They use things like Oath of the Fairy that allows you to double up your activated planeswalker cost. So that's going to be really annoying. But I remember we faced this card during a game of Kingdom. No, Kingdom. What was it? Kingdom?
It was Kingdom.
Yeah, it was Kingdom. And one of the players used this card, and it was an 8-player Kingdom, was it?
It was a 10-player Kingdom.
Oh, it was a 10-player. So you can just imagine. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that player is going to go extra turn again. Okay,
Yeah.
he activates the card, and like, oh, extra turn again. Oh, God.
But to be honest, in a normal game, Teferi won't live. In a normal 4-player game, Teferi won't live more than 1 turn.
Yep.
Yeah, because as usual, planeswalkers are the weakest permanents in EDH.
True. But still, it's one of those things where I find it very annoying to deal with because if you're not ready for it, if you don't have anything to go through, usually I think players who use the fairy has their board set up and have their defense strong. Like they have blind obedience to make sure people have their creatures come in tap, or they have stacks like ghostly prison or even propaganda to stop people from going through. So they have their boards ready for this.
Yeah.
And if it takes the next round to get things into action, it's not gonna be fun.
Yeah. But do you know how to get rid of them?
Usually with a removal spell.
Yeah. And that's what my next card is.
Ah.
People usually use this one as mass removal. Cyclonic Rift. This is one of the saltiest cards people always hate. Cyclonic Rift is 1 in a blue instant that says return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. But it has overload for 6 and a blue, and it changes the target into each. So it turns it into return each non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand.
I was going to put this in my list until I really think about it, and this is from personal experience. Our playgroup doesn't really have Cyclonic Rift that much. A, because it was a rare card that nobody really has,
And it's expensive at that time.
and B, not our playgroup doesn't really play that blue that much, except for you and me. And who was it again?
Other people.
I mean, not much. So basically, personally for me, I don't find it annoying because I am the one that's doing it.
You don't find it annoying, yes, because you don't do it and you didn't face against it. But to be honest, if you're in a regular playgroup, people will be using this left and right.
Oh, true. That's true. But here's the thing. There is multiple ways to deal with Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah, mostly just counter spells.
Oh, true.
But if, let's say, it resolves, would you feel salty about it if you already have your board set
I
up?
mean, that's the thing. I mean, right now is the saltiest card list, and true, Cyclonic Rift is salty, but for me personally, in this current situation right now, I don't find it that annoying because I don't face it that much. It's a scenario where my experience with this card is I'm the one using it, so
Well, this is just your experience, but other people's experience feel that this card is not that is very salty.
Yeah, true. That is true. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just speaking from my experience with this card because usually I'm the one that's doing it. So, yay!
So let's say you're in other people's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Would you feel salty about it?
I would be. It depends on
If you were in other people's shoes,
Yeah,
and you're doing it.
Here's the thing. I mean, if I were in a playgroup that Cyclone Rift is a must in most decks, I'll be ready for it because there's a card that doesn't really counter it, but it's kind of screws people up. What was that card again? I
The
forgot.
fairies protection.
No, it's not Fairies Protection. It is a
Narcissus reversal.
No, it's an instant card where I exchange permanents with target opponent. Like select all my creatures, exchange permanent with the other player, and we change. Like I'll take his creature, he take my creature.
That only works during the combat step. Illusionist. I remember that one. Illusionist something. Gambit.
Okay, so one of the few things why I think this card is okay because it's usually when you're attacking. Well, okay, I'll just read Illusionist Gambit because it's one of the cards that I use. And Illusionist Gambit is a 2 and 2 blue instant. Cast Illusionist Gambit only during the declare blocker step of an opponent's turn. Remove all attacking creature combat and untap them. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Each of those creatures attack.
Oh no, wait.
Oh,
Reigns of Power.
Yeah, see, that was more confusing. But I do have this card also. I do forget what was it again. I don't remember why, but yeah. Reigns of Power. Why do you read this?
So Reigns of Power is 2 and 2 blue. It says untap all creatures you control and all creatures target opponent controls. You and that opponent gain control of all creatures the other controls until end of turn. Those creatures gain haste until end of turn.
Mm-hmm. So this is a cheeky way to not really counter, but it's a cheeky way to stop the opponent from
Gaining the most value.
Yeah. So the idea is whenever an opponent casts Cyclonic Rift, they want to kind of clear the board.
Yeah.
It's a blue block white.
Yeah.
But if you play Reigns of Power, let's just say my board is filled with creatures.
Yeah.
So I want my creatures to live.
Sure.
So I cast Reign of Powers during in response to
The
Cyclonic
Cyclonic
Rift, giving all my creatures to the person that's controlling Cyclonic Rift.
Mm-hmm.
So I take his creature, he take my creature.
Yeah.
Then Cyclonic Rift goes off.
Yeah, sure.
All of his creatures goes back to him. All of my creatures stays on his side of the field.
Until the end of turn.
Yes. And then when that's done, I take all my creature back.
Yeah, but there's a problem with that is that if you're playing Rings of Power, you're playing blue, and most people probably the person won't be playing Cyclonic Rift
True.
because you have at least 4 mana up and 2 blue.
Yeah.
That person 100% won't Cyclonic Rift if that's a threat,
But that's the thing. Usually in this kind of scenario,
unless it's a free spell. Then yes.
no, I mean, in this kind of scenario, there's always somebody bigger than me. Like,
Yes.
if it's a board wipe, it's a board wipe. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, let's just say you have your big creature stompy thing going to happen.
Yep.
He's going to board wipe or Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah.
I want my boards to still survive. Like, my creatures are important to me.
Yes.
So I'll use this, give it to him, I'll take it, and then...
That's really only if you have mana up.
Mm.
But usually, a smart player won't Cyclonic Rift if there's mana up.
True, but there's also... now we're talking about this card right now. But no, that's beside the point. But still, those one of the cheeky ways to deal with Cyclonic Rift without countering it, because you still want the board. The Fairies Protection is another one. I mean,
I can agree with that first protection.
this is a few ways to deal with it. But like I said, it's just cheeky ways to deal with Cyclonic Rift without countering it, because you want the board to be white.
It really depends.
Yeah.
Well, what's your next card?
My next card is, I think you mentioned this card before. It was in it's one of the conversations. Not recent. Yeah, you just mentioned it recently. Anyway, it's Golos Tireless Pilgrim. It's a 5 colorless legendary creature artifact scout for a 3 and 5. whenever Golos Stylus program enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a land card. Put that card into the battlefield tab. Then search your library. Then shuffle your library. You can pay 2 and Wooburg. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn without paying their mana cost. So this one is specific to me because the way that the deck is built. If the deck is built in a very mean way where extra turns are prevalent, a lot of things are there, it can get really annoying.
You just play Lavinia, then you can do it.
True. Like I said, if you're ready for it. If you're not, then yeah.
Yeah.
But still, I faced this deck a few times and it can get really annoying.
Like you said, as long as you have a contingency, you can counter it.
True. It's not bad, but still,
Yeah.
I find it annoying because the first thing is it comes in, it allows you to look for lands. The activated cost is huge, but if you use like training grounds, you just have to pay Wooburg for it.
Yeah, true.
Well, what do you think, man?
It's not really that hard. First off is an artifact. Second off is a creature. People usually play creature removal. Second most removal is artifact removal. So this is really easily removed. And since it's 5, it's quite slow to come in unless a person turn 1 land, soul ring, mana vault, and mana crypt to get this out. Yeah, I have nothing to say.
Yeah, but with those kind of combos, you still are lacking Wooburg.
Yeah. Then you just play Chromatic Ori, then you just win.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, it really depends. But I don't think Golos is that salty.
Yeah, but
because it really depends on their luck.
Yeah, but still, it says the top 3, and if you can constantly check the top 3 of your deck, it's like with a Sensei dividing top.
No, Sensei's dividing top doesn't just checks the top 3, but what you need is something like 4, because the top 3 you just shuffle it and you just take it out. But if you have something like Scroll Rack that allows you to rearrange it with your hand, then I can agree. Yeah, it's very annoying.
Yeah, but still, it's multiple ways to deal with this deck or to control this deck with the things that you have inside.
Yeah.
But still, Golos Stylus program is not a bad commander. It's just annoying to me because the way it's built. Like if you build it with stacks or a lot of just extra turns and so on, it can get grading.
True. But there's another way to stop that, which is what my next card is. Null Rod.
Oh.
It's a 2-mana artifact that says activated abilities of artifacts cannot be activated. So, this card is salty for numerous reasons. First off, what's the best play in a turn 1?
Turn 1 would be turn 1 land, soul ring, signet. I mean,
there it is.
That's the common one.
There it is. Land, turn 1 land, soul ring. Soul ring. People love to use soul ring. Not just soul ring. People like to use ramp with artifacts. What if we cut that off?
That's
with no rod.
Very annoying.
Yes. People have felt the salt of this card after people play it with mana crypt.
Activated abilities. Okay. Wait, basically this is similar to the creature.
Collected Oof.
Yeah.
And Stony Silence. They are the card. They are the creatures and enchantment versions of this card. No Rod was the earliest iteration of that card, of those effects. And since it's an artifact itself, it's easily removed, but it still does a lot of damage at 2 mana cost. That's colorless, so it can be put in any deck.
Wait, does it not null itself?
No, it's activated. This is a static. Of course, stuff like, let's say, Golos, ETB triggers, yeah, sure. But its activated abilities cannot be activated.
So basically, if you have the collected so if you have a set of cards that do that.
Yeah, and imagine if you have not just that, you have cards that have artifacts that have activated abilities. Let's say even Mana Rocks can't even tap for mana, can't sacrifice themselves. Even Stronic Resonator can't activate. Even Soul Ring, Mana Vault, Mana Crypt, nothing can activate if this card's on the battlefield, and it slows you down by a lot. And
Yeah, true. Unless you have a way to turn them into creatures and swing.
you can do that. You can turn into creatures and swing, but that's quite. What card does that again?
Oh, there's a lot I forgot.
No, there's one card that turns everything to creatures.
Yeah, I forgot. Like there is, but still, you can do that. And yeah, personally for me, this is a CEDH level card where
Yeah.
I don't see it that much, and I haven't feel the pain, but I can just imagine. Like if this comes out on what
Turn 1.
turn one?
It always comes out on turn 1 whenever I play against people in KL and Singapore.
Yeah, the way I can think of it is Lotus Petal, Second, 1 mana floating,
No,
land.
if you play this card, you won't play artifacts. Turn 1 Simian Spirit Guide, land, no rod.
Yeah. Yeah, still, oh wow, that's going to be bad. Like, that slows down the gameplay by a lot.
It slows down a lot where you can set up your combos and win or hit people. That's why it's one of the saltier cards that people have faced against in KL and Singapore.
Alright.
Alright, so what's your next card?
My next card is going to be a funny one, and that's Smoldering Ties.
Types.
Yep. Smoldering Tide is a 3 and white enchantment, and whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. If the player doesn't, you create a colorless treasure artifact token with tap. Sacrifice this artifact at 1 mana of any color. So, I play this a lot. You play this a lot too?
I don't have the card, but I've seen people play it.
Yeah, but I have this card. I played in my deck, and I seen another player play this card, and so on. The annoying thing about this one is that it's not a.
It's not really ramp.
It's not really RAM, but it's not really.
It's not really stacks as well. It's not
Yeah,
really
so-
tax as well.
But the thing is, when you draw, the line is: would you like to pay 2? And if the player doesn't, you get a treasure. So that doesn't sound bad. But the thing is, if somebody draws a lot,
Yeah.
they have to pay 2 for each. But if they don't, you have, let's just say, 2 cards or 2 treasures on board.
Yeah.
And 2 treasures can be 4, 10, 6, 12, whatever it is. Because people are not going to pay. Because people are just going to be selfish and keep mana for themselves to do something for themselves. And Smoldering Ties, sometimes people will overlook. People will overlook because it's one of those things where it's getting annoying and I'm not going to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay for it. And people will just say, you can just take it, you can just take it. So
That's true.
it's one of those things where Smoldering Ties is already psychological. So even if somebody does deal with it, that stack of treasures over there is still going to be there. And let's just say somebody deals with Smoldering Ties. Now they want to deal with the artifact. They use Vandal Blast, Overload.
You can just sack it.
Yep. Sack all of them to float the mana and do something with it.
There's actually a reason why I don't play Smothering Ties, and that's because of no rod.
True.
I faced against Smothering Ties in my in KL before. No, I played with Smothering Ties before, but I don't play them now. It's because I played too much null rod abilities, null rod-esque abilities, and I do not want to play. And then I was like, this card is too expensive, and if I get null rod, it's not really useful. So I'm just gonna take it out, side in for better cards. So really, it's a good card, yeah, in casual formats, yes. But if you are faced against a card integrate creator, it essentially becomes useless.
Oh, that's true. But like I mentioned before, it's one of those scenarios where it's one of those things where if it's down and nobody deals with it, it's going to be very bad.
True.
What about you?
Since we're talking about mana, my next card will be Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger. It's a 6 and 2 green, a 7/6 legendary creature predator. It says it has trample, and whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana to your mana pool of any type that land produced. And then whenever an opponent taps a land for mana, that land doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Now, first off, it taxes people, Second off, it gives you double mana. It has trample. It's big. Of course, it's not. It's 8 mana, but you're in green. If you're playing this, you're in green. 100% you're gonna cast this at turn 5 or turn 4. Yeah, usually because like you're gonna ramp at turn. You're gonna ramp constantly if you're playing more.
You're
green.
going to use this as the commander.
No, maybe we'll see. Well, but what do you think? I think it's very strong though.
Yeah, one of the praetors like
Warrior
Checks is it is it's one of the legendary cards that is very annoying to deal with. It has a 7/6 and trample, and
it attacks, it gains, it restricts.
Yeah, and the thing is, it gives you double mana. Like it gives everyone on the board double mana.
Yeah.
You tap it, you gain what? You tap a green, you get 2 greens. So that's not bad. But if you're the opponent, you have to think twice because
you don't untap.
Yeah, but you get double. But
no, you don't get double.
No.
Only the person controlling Warring Class gets double.
Oh yeah, you. Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is one.
The opponent is I need to think about whether or not they want to cast it.
This is one of those things where I need to really think about it because do I have a removal for this? Because if I'm going to tap for mana, I'm going to make sure that
it's worth it.
Yeah, like let's just say expropriate. Like I'm going to tap mana. I'm going to make sure it's worth it for me. So I'm going to cast in expropriate, tapping 9, making sure it's worth it. Until somebody counters me.
Yeah, that's true.
But still, it's one of those scenarios where this is mean. This is really mean. But I haven't seen anyone use this as a commander or in the 99. But still,
it's hard. It's actually hard to obtain in JB, but it's quite easy to get in KL in Singapore. And I've seen this in turn 2s.
Turn 2s.
Turn 1 and 2. Turn 1 and 2. Turn 2 enemy dead. Yeah, I've seen a lot of this come out. Or Jin Gitaxias.
Jin's not that bad, right?
Jin, you don't have cards in your hand.
Yeah, that's gonna be annoying.
Yeah, but this is a very bad card. And if to face, of course it's good if you're playing it, but it's very hard to remove it because like, oh no, even if you remove it, if you already tapped your land, you can you don't untap until the next untap.
Yeah, that's going to be annoying. I mean, there's multiple ways to deal with it.
Yeah,
with
Seaboard Muse. Yeah, Wilderness Reclamation. Yeah, like you said before. There are multiple ways to deal with it, but Warring Class essentially also stops that.
I mean, Wilderness Reclamation is a bandage on the wound.
It's just a bandage. Seaborn Muse is mostly just a miracle elixir.
Yeah, I mean it does help you every time. Like if you tap it, you get double. You tap it, you get to untap it on the next player's untap unless somebody kills it off. But still, it's one of those scenarios where you get the option to untap. Unlike the way if you play normally. You need to wait until the next turn. Wow, if you're playing Commander 4, that's going to be annoying because you tap mana, goes to you doesn't untap, goes to you again, then you untap.
Yep.
Wow, that's bad.
Yeah, that's annoying. So, what's your next card?
Okay, my next card is going to be my last, and it is Aura Shards.
Oh, Aura Shards.
Yes, Aura Shard is a enchantment for 1 and green-white. It says, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. It's simple, and it's not that bad when you think about it. Like,
yeah,
it's just whenever a creature comes into play. Usually, maximum creatures can come into play per turn. It's maybe 1 or 2, so it's not that bad.
Depending on the deck, but the problem is there's not that much enchantments and artifacts for you to remove once you, let's say, do it 2 turns.
But the thing is, this deck can get annoying if you're playing in a token deck, where okay, I tap this much, I generate this much token, it comes down, I
Bang, bang, bang.
bang. And here's the thing, one of our friends has this card and uses it in his Wish to Redeem deck.
Oh, very.
Yep. But the thing is, he doesn't have Lycosilatis.
Okay. Okay.
So it says artifact. It doesn't say anything about lands.
So if you Minkus like this, even the lands will go away.
Yep.
Okay.
So basically, you put this on, you generate a lot of creatures because it is on, you ping all the troublemakers. Like, if you're really going to be really mean, you destroy the land first. Or destroy any other permanent that's going to be trouble for you.
True.
So after doing that, then you have the board ready for you. I mean, even if somebody has a removal spell, they don't have mana to deal with it.
True. But it's a very how do I say
Specific combo.
Yes, very specific, and usually aura shards. If once the ammo for aura shards is gone, it has to target itself.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't really need to do anything then, because once you're already established, you're just gonna shoot.
True, I agree, but it's not that salty of card. That if I think about it,
it's not like that. It's not, but it can be annoying.
Yeah,
it can be, especially if you're established in the late game. Like, then, oh boy, it is going to be murder.
Well, my next two cards are actually in the top of my list, and they're actually the same. They actually almost do the same thing. The first one is Winter Orb.
Oh.
It's a 2-mana artifact. As long as Winter Orb is untapped, players can't untap more than one land during their untap steps. And the other is Static Orb, 3-mana artifact that says as long as Static Orb is untapped, players can't untap more than 2 permanents during their untap step. Listen well, 2 permanents, and the other one is 1 land. Now, the people that feel that this is annoying are correct. It's very freaking annoying. Because it does not allow you to untap, it makes it essentially your resources are cut down to a trickle.
Yeah, I mean, this is similar to Borderclap.
Yes.
Because it goes to the same way where, at least Borderclap allows you to untap your lands during the next untap step.
Yes.
But this one doesn't really, because it's based on, okay, you can untap 1 land per turn. You can untap 2 permanents per turn. So
it's worse if they're both together.
Yep.
Because if let's say you are playing a lot of creatures, a lot of lands, then I slap down Static Orb, Winter Orb together. The way it works is that usually if you only have Winter Orb on the battlefield, you can at least untap your artifacts, untap your creatures. You can attack with them. You can tap them for the artifacts for mana. But with Static Orb on the battlefield, together with Winter Orb, you can only untap 1 land and 1 permanent.
Can untap more than 2 permanents.
Yeah, but the land is counted for Winter Orb.
Yeah.
So if you untap with Winter Orb, that counts for Static Orb's 1 permanent as well. So you can only untap 1 other thing.
Oh wow, that's mean.
Yes, and think about the deck that's played with it. The most played commander with these 2 cards is Urza, High Lord Artificer.
The new one?
Yes.
Oh. Wow.
And it says as long as these cards are untapped, you only get this effect. So during your opponent's end step, you tap these 2 cards with Urza's ability, you get to untap all your stuff.
But wait, it says
as long as it is untapped.
Let's see.
You should read the Oracle text.
Oh yeah, okay. See. As long as Static Orb is untapped, players can untap more than 2 permanents during their untap step.
So if you tap them at the end of your opponent's turn, during your untap step, you can untap everything because they are all tapped.
So basically, during your untap step, it counts it on the untap step.
No. It only counts if it's untapped on the untapped step. But if it's not untapped on the untapped step, you can untap everything.
So, true. I mean, this is one of those things where it is specific to it's wordly specific because it needs to be untapped. So, if you are a guy who can tap or untap a permanent, you can kind of control this.
Yeah, it's like the Devery thing.
Yeah. He comes in, tap and tap.
But this is much more annoying than Devery.
Yeah, true.
Because you do this continuously instead of Devery like just doing it.
Yeah, true. But like I mentioned before, Wizard's Reclamation does help with the lands, and Seaborn Muse does help with everything on board. It does help, but still, I'm sure the players...
Seaborn Muse doesn't help.
Does it?
Players can't untap more than 2 permanents during their untapped steps.
Oh, really? No.
Untapped steps.
Oh, there. Wait. As long as... that. During the untapped step. So, Seaborn Muse does multiply that?
No, because it's also... Seaborn Muse is also during the untapped step.
It says their untapped step. Seaborn Muse is the opponent's.
Each of the players. Okay, then yeah. But if they can, how would they stop a turn 2 Winter Aura?
See, the thing about Seaborn Muse is
it's a 5 mana card.
Yeah, 5 mana card. So it's getting it in there is slow, but once it's already there, people or the player that's playing Winter Orb and Static Orb
would kill that.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where don't do this to me, I'll help you, you help me, we kind of control the board, and then we'll clean these 2 out, and then it'll be just me and you. I mean, there's deals that can be made.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's artifacts. So, Vandal Blast or even artifact removals can disrupt this. Static, no, what was your... Null Rod. Null Rod doesn't really stop this. Because...
Null Rod doesn't stop that. That's why they play Null Rod.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's so bad.
Yeah.
Null Rod, Winter Orb, and Static Orb. Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's evil.
No, that's evil. I agree. But that's the thing. They're in blue. Usually, when you play this, you're playing Urza High Lord Artificer, you're playing blue, there's counter spells, and you can tap those 2 for mana as well. You can use the mana to counter them. So, really, it's really a niche situation in this, where it really depends on the deck you play. But it's really salty if you play against it.
Oh, yeah. But still, my verdict on those 2 are, they're annoying. They're really annoying. I mean, I think you sold this to me. Like, you sold the Winter Orb to me.
Yeah, the old one.
Yeah.
I have a new one.
I mean, this is the one.
Yeah, I have this one.
But anyway, you sold it to me. Until this day, I never found a place in my deck. And I always think that, do I really want to use this? This is mean.
I don't know. I played it. Yeah, people just scooped.
Yeah, it's just mean. Like,
I don't really care.
Yeah, but still, there's a lot of ways to go buy this if you have what was it called again?
Vandal Blast?
No, Smoldering Ties. You don't really need the mana. Like, you just have your treasures.
True.
So you still have mana available for you, but it's not in land form.
True.
So that's one way to get by it. But
No Rod.
yeah, no.
Yeah, but yeah, all the things I've said usually actually count as yours, and vice versa sometimes.
Yeah, true. But most of all, I think the statement we can say about the saltiest card on our list here is that it's from play experience. I'm sure that's going to be other annoyance out there that are much bigger. You can check out EVH Rex most saltiest card list. It's there. They have a lot of cards that are quote unquote salty. But personally for us, these are my saltiest card from play experience, and those are your cards from play experience.
Yeah.
I do agree some of those cards are salty.
Yeah.
But
yours as well, because yours is mostly situational wise and biased towards extra turn spells.
yeah. That is true.
Yeah.
No, but if you notice, the extra turns that I list down here are really unfair. Expropriate is, on a good day, you can get 4 extra turns. Teferi is 2 extra turns. Nexus of Fate is extra turn on instant.
I can agree with Nexus of Fate, but if you want Teferi is harder, and in an ETH game, easily killed. Expropriate is fair because it's high mana. It's a high mana cost, and usually you don't really give the extra turns. He only gives it to himself, and if let's say your opponent's situational analysis is quite low, then I'll call them idiots if they give him extra turns.
Yeah, but still, personally for me, extra turn sucks. I used to play extra turns, but I don't do it anymore.
I still play extra turns. Well, I sold my extra turns, but I still can build them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but extra turns are always is also a good thing to the players. It spices it up.
It depends. I mean, I'm not saying that extra turns are bad. I'm just saying extra turns are annoying because, well, if you are going to play a game of Commander, everybody else wants to have a turn too.
Well, it depends.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but I think that's all for saltiest cards, right?
Yep. So if you guys at home enjoy the list that we have and want us to do another top 10 of something, do comment down below and we'll address them. We'll look at them and we'll kind of build a list.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure commanders, top 10 commanders that we enjoy, that will be something, right?
Fair and goofy. Yeah, but yes, I think that you can, if you want, just put down a list. We'll make the list, and we'll tell you about it and why we chose those commanders as well.
Yeah, I mean, top 10s are fun. Like, if you want us to do it again, do comment below because I had fun. I had fun looking at cards that annoyed me.
I had fun talking to my friends about, hey guys, what annoyed us again? Oh yeah, those cards. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Did you sit down with people and talk about it?
What's that?
Yeah.
I'm friends with them.
Oh, you would soon be.
Yeah.
But anywho, let's move on to the next topic. And well, what have you been doing for a week? So Wilson, what have you been doing?
Exams are coming. So I've been working.
Oh.
Yeah, because exams are coming, it means I have more free time.
Oh.
Yeah, now that exams are online based, it's easier for me to pass them. And my assignments are mostly at the 35, 38 mark, so I can just get 10 something marks from my exam to pass. I'm not the kind of guy who wants to be, I have to get all A's. My Asian parents are going to whip me. No, I'm not. I just want to cruise through my entire degree and get my degree and just work.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with higher education, I would say it's a lie. Like, you don't really... Okay, maybe I'm wrong on this one. If I'm wrong, don't say anything. But the thing is, workplace just wants experience. And usually they will just look at how many years of experience do that person have. And even if you have a master's degree on something, they won't hire you because you're too overqualified.
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah,
but I also
they won't pay you that much money. So either you take a cut on the paycheck or you don't work. So
usually you know what you're applying for. Usually it's written there how much you get. And even if you're overqualified, you just say, why? You usually have reasons on why you want that job.
Yeah, because I need to pay bills for magic.
Yeah, true. I also got promoted to marketing in my part-time job, so now I'm getting better pay, I think.
Oh yay!
Yeah, and tomorrow's my birthday.
Yay!
Well, actually,
by the time when this episode comes out, it's still a while, but September 11th.
Yeah, September 11th is my birthday, so yeah, I'm getting more presents. Even though I'm 22. Why am I getting presents?
Hey, that's good, man. And age is just a number.
Yeah, true. So what about you? What have you been doing this week?
Honestly, my week has been pretty okay. I managed to finish Ghost of Tsushima.
That game. How's it?
Oh, that game's good, man. That game is great. No wonder people are giving it all the accolades that it have. Like that game is just awesome in terms of story, gameplay, and just mechanics. Like at first, it's a bit hard to get into it because of all the things that you don't have. But once you do get the things, you can do a lot of things. And there's different play style. Like there's the upfront, like in your face kind of action play style, or archery where you can just shoot arrows. And there's the sneaky ninja.
Okay. So
And-
it's basically samurai, archer, ninja.
Yeah, and there's also charms. Like they call it charms, but it's just power ups that modify your game. Like you can have, okay, if you want to shoot faster with a bow, or if you want to play a lot of counters, like counter attacks and whatnot, like those things do play a part. So it depends on your play style and whatnot. Because I just finished my first run and I'm already feeling that, oh, I want to play it again with bows this time.
So basically like Monster Hunter.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Except you're hunting,
Humans.
yes, instead of monsters.
Human hunters.
There's no. Other than that, I think I watched a movie recently.
Oh, what movie?
Mulan.
Okay, there's a lot of controversy there.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna talk about the controversy. I mean, the most obvious question is it good? I would say that it's interesting. It's not bad. If you look at it as a American action film, it is good. It's fun.
Okay, yeah.
And if you take it on its own merits, not in terms of, if you don't compare it to the animated series, then it's not bad.
True. Okay.
The only thing that I dislike about the movie is how it focuses on Mulan, which is not bad and makes sense.
It's a Mulan movie.
Yeah,
The
but
name is Mulan. It's
I
supposed
know.
to focus on Mulan.
I know. But here's the thing: in the previous Mulan, like here's
The animated version,
yeah.
right?
Like I mentioned before, don't compare it to the animated one because this is its own thing. But I'm comparing it because in the animated one we get to see the characters getting built. Like we get to see Mulan and the three friends, Ping, Chenpo, and I forgot the other one.
Fat one.
Yeah, no, the big guy, the big shorty guy.
Oh, okay, the salty guy. Okay. Yeah.
So we at least get to see them mingle and have some brotherly interaction with Mulan. At least they group up and whatnot. In this one, it's focused on all focus on Mulan, and the reason why I wanted to focus on the rest is because one of the YouTubers that I personally watch, I'm not 100% you, I'm not 100% sure about you, is Jimmy Wong from
Yeah.
the Command Cast. He plays Ping in the movie, and I get to see him just a few times. And
Wait, he's Pink?
yes,
I know he was in the movie, but I thought, oh
he
my
plays a big
God.
part, kind of.
I need to download the movie. Yeah.
Well, it is available on Disney Plus.
Well.
Yes. But yeah, he just plays a small part there. Like you get to see, oh man, like it's just one of those things where I want to see more of him. Like he trained so hard and did so little in the movie. So yeah, overall the movie is okay. A way I compare this movie is if Mulan here is similar to Naruto, where
No, that's different a bit. Because Mulan had to follow gender roles instead. But Naruto was neglected, was, how do I say, shunned because of a rumor that he is dangerous.
oh yeah, no, here's the thing. In this world, in the world of Mulan, they have this thing called Chi.
Okay.
Chi is energy that allows you to be a courageous warrior, to have more power than the other person,
Okay.
the regular person. So basically, Mulan has this, and
Okay.
that's not normal for a girl. A girl should be staying at home, being a good wife and whatnot. A boy should have the chi to be a great warrior and whatnot. So Mulan has this, and she's kind of OP. You can see her being Narset.
Oh yeah, she's upset.
So the thing is, yay, it's all fun, it's all good, but the thing is, oh man, like why Chi? Like, I'm just waiting for the Rasengan to come out.
Yeah, something like Rasengan, like Kamehameha as
Yeah,
well.
something like, oh man. Like,
She has chi. Come on,
but
animators. Come on,
Yeah, but the
people,
thing is-
script writers. You guys can think about stuff.
yeah, but it's not bad. But the thing is,
Was there a dragon in there?
no, there's a phoenix.
Ah, damn it. Oh well, I'm not gonna watch it anyway.
You should. It's fun. It's a fun movie to watch and make fun of. I saw it in theaters, but here's the thing. I'll be honest. The movie's not bad. Like, it's worth a watch.
So,
I'm just giving it a hard time because Jimmy Wong is not there a lot.
well, I sure he would appreciate that.
Yeah, but still, go watch it. Go watch it.
Yeah. So, let's go to our combo of today.
Oh, I have one,
Okay.
and the combo is not a pure infinite combo, but it's an interesting one. You know the new crab,
Which crab?
the new one from
Oh, legendary crab.
Zendikar Returns. What was it called?
Legendary katam.
Yes, that one. So the combo is not infinite or looping. All right, the crab is called Kerix.
The raging owl.
Yeah, Kerix, the Raging Isle. It's a 2 and 2 blue legendary creature, the Leviathan Crab. Spells your opponent cast that target this crab cost 2 more to cast, and it has pay 3. Kerix gets plus X and minus X until end of turn, where X is the number of islands you control. So it has 0 and 17, which is not bad.
Okay.
And the combo is you just equip it with what was it
Dragon
again?
Throne Karkir.
Yes. What does it say?
A quick creature has defender and pay 2, tap it. All the creatures you control gain trample and gets plus X until end of turn, where X is this creature's power.
So if you play it in a what you call this? If you play it in a let's just say
Mono blue
Arcades
or Arcades deck.
the strategist, and equip it with
Dragon Throne.
Dragon Throne, the crab's going to swing
The crab can swing. It's a
And-
defender.
because of Arcades.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Arcades lets it swing.
Oh, so you make it in the defender and you attack with it.
Yes, and then you pay the cost, giving other creatures plus 17. Or does it change it?
Power.
No, it says X and 17. And Arcades deals damage equals to its defense. But X is the creature's power. Oh, power. That sucks. Well, you could change it around to become a 16.
True. If you have enough islands.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So yeah, it kind of works.
It kind of works. But let's just say you pay the 3, then you pay the 2 for this. Then you get, let's say you have 16 islands. You each of your creatures get 16 power as well.
True.
That's good enough actually.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really need to be that. Like, you can still swing it with 17, and that's still huge.
Fail.
So it's 17 and trample, right?
Yeah, 17. It doesn't give trample though.
Oh.
Just give the power and toughness, which is what is X.
Yeah, but still, swinging it with a big butt, that's not bad. In our kitty's deck.
Yep.
17. Wow. I thought the tree of what, perdition was it? Like the green for 13? I thought that was huge, no?
Yeah, that's even the tree of redemption.
Redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Those are 13s.
Yeah, still, man.
Yeah.
But it's not a full combo, but still, it kind of works.
Yeah, it kind of works. Then High Alert also does well. High Alert.
Yeah, High Alert. I mean,
It doesn't even need to be Defender. You don't even need that. You just play that with High Alert.
true. No, you still need to equip it with the throne to make it defender, because...
No, High Alert is just dealing damage with the butt.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was defender.
No, High Alert. High Alert says each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power.
Yeah, so it does...
The second line says creatures you control can attack as though they didn't have defender.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that does work around with this. Like, the crab can swing with big butt.
Yep. I like big butts and can't not lie.
Yay. So, anywho, if you guys have any questions, concerns, or suggestions for the show, you can contact us at thegatewatchcast@gmail.com. And also, please subscribe and rate us on iTunes, YouTube. Don't forget to press the bell icon to stay up to date. And also, subscribe to the iTunes. I already said that. Anyway, links are in the show notes.
Yeah.
Right now we are recording at Alexandria Bookstore. Links and address will be in the show notes. So anyway, I have been on Sanzo,
And I'm Wilson.
and we'll catch you guys next week with another fun episode on the with another episode of the Gatewatch Cast. See you later.
See you.